In this ongoing series, I will be talking with people throughout the city, exploring our new behaviors, new routines, new thoughts and feelings. I hope you'll join me on this journey.
We deserve better than this! Where's your passion?
Remember when game developers actually listened to feedback and responded professionally? Nowadays, it seems like developers won't think twice about telling consumers to fuck off unless they are kissing their latte-sipping asses. Unfortunately, there's no shortage of corporate slaves simping for ESG-funded companies that cram in progressive themes that no real fan wanted. Sadly, it's no longer about what the fans want, it's about what the developers want. And what they want is to inject their thoughts and beliefs in media. Insomniac's Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is full of subversion that reeks of modern-day sensibilities, and you don't have to have spent $70 to notice that. A simple search on YouTube will pull up cutscenes or playthroughs of the game that will show you Insomniac's true intentions, which is that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is a social experiment first and a superhero game second. This also applies to other AAA Western developed games such as The Last of Us 2 and Alan Wake 2, where consumers are fed lies that this game or that game is a horror game, or about survival, or a psychological thriller. And while on the surface it may seem that way, underneath the fancy marketing and presentation lies the truth. And the truth is propaganda from politically correct hack developers.
What exactly does Sweet Baby Inc., which by the way sounds like a dating site for paedophiles, have to do with Alan Wake 2? Well, according to their own website, they worked on character arc, voice, and sensitivity reading. And by sensitivity reading, we of course mean someone who takes a body of work and makes sure that it conforms to the ESG, DIE, intersectional, far-left ideology, because they're a bunch of fascists, and of course, you must conform to their worldview or be destroyed. Basically, they're the Gestapo of the writing world, here to tell you what you are allowed to see and what you are allowed to think. Yeah, sensitivity reading. They disguise themselves with names like Sweet Baby, but what they're there for is no other reason than to force companies to conform to the current day DIE ESG ideology and nothing more, and woe betide you if you don't. And because the modern day entertainment industry is full of these ideologues, they are more than happy to invite companies like Sweet Pea Inc. in and allow them to destroy their companies from the inside out. And just looking at their client list, you can see plenty of companies there that have embraced this nonsense.
Not only are there obvious pandering and social commentary in these commercialized AAA slop buckets, but there's something else just as egregious. Self-inserts. Yes, these self-inserts, the uncanny self-inserts that only smooth-brained corporate slaves would deny. Sadly though, the sheep are simping hard for games like Spider-Man 2 and its hammered in modern-day propaganda. I find it hard to believe that Mary Jane, aka the Crimson Chin, in Spider-Man 2 was modeled after her alleged face model, when we have this Brock Samson lookalike writer from Insomniac floating around that actually resembles Spider-Man 2's Mary Jane more than the allegedly face-scan actress. Another example of this foolishness is the upcoming Fable reboot. The man pretending to be a female at Playground Games resembles the main character more so than the face model who is a real woman. Now I'm sure the Sims who support the current thing will defend these abysmal looking characters, claiming it's about realism or how modern technology is somehow making characters like Mary Jane look like dog shit. While in Spider-Man lore, Mary Jane was a model and before Insomniac Spider-Man games was always portrayed as an attractive feminine female. And while characters like Mary Jane or Nicole in the modern day Dead Space remake look purposely unflattering, so are the attitudes of these virtue signaling developers, from the snarkiness to the intolerance. Most of these stooges clearly don't take criticism very well, and Insomniac made that apparent. But don't think other developers don't share their same thought process when it comes to criticism. We need to understand that us to consumers will deliberately be ignored. Studios like Insomniac will listen to some activists with pronouns and mental disorders in their bios long before actually listening to people who simply want to play as Spider-Man in a Spider-Man game or not have to be subjected to far-left social commentary. Unfortunately, real fans are not the target audience anymore. It's the non-existent modern-day audience that get catered to. And it shows. Look how shitty and soulless modern gaming has become. Just look at the progressive nonsense in games like Starfield and Assassin's Creed Mirage. Look at the people who cheer on all the politically correct garbage. And the games media is no different. Gaming is controlled by virtue signaling asshats that will make anything and everything about their thoughts and beliefs. That's why people have to be mindful of what's going on. Stop being naive and see the forest from the trees. Mental gymnastics and cognitive dissonance solves nothing. People need to start speaking with their wallets. Being critical on social media and mocking and shaming mean nothing when you'll pull out your wallet for the same companies time and time again. Having self-control and wherewithal to say no to ESG-funded companies will make a difference. Because once the ESG well dries out and the sales numbers plummet and said companies have to close their doors due to their incompetence, then that's when the gaming industry can rebuild and become great again. But until then, you have to ask yourself, can you say no to the shiny new thing? Or are you going to join the other pigs in the pen and chug the modern day slop? But whatever you choose to do, just be mindful of what they are really trying to tell you.
This has been Mary Jane Watson, and you're listening to The New Normal.